Hey, Eric Borzeski here. A couple people have started to talk about the right elbow, particularly or specifically around transition time. So this is a good video of a couple of videos on Ben Hogan, um, who was, about as what you could call pitch elbow if you want to use the golfing machine terms. Elbow moving down and in front of the right hip, kind of feeling like it's pointing at your belly button. More than Jim Furyk, who is very much in a punch elbow position. So the video on the left, you can see what this will do to the club shaft, what you could call the third accumulator, or how much the left forearm has rolled, and the space between his elbows, where the club shaft points, a few things. And for the people out there that are working on this, this is one of the later pieces, typically. But if you're a decent player, then you're probably in the realm where you can consider this. Anyway, there are two ways to work on this. One is with your left wrist or feeling something in your hands to change the elbow position, or you can change the elbow position and affect the wrist conditions. It depends on where you feel things and how well you feel things and what problems you need to solve. I mean, you might need to solve both. You might need to solve the wrist conditions and the elbow position, so working on one or the other might cure both, or improve both. As always, go with your priorities, figure out which one is more important, work on that, and then if there's still a little bit of cleanup in the other, wrist or elbow or whatever, then work on that afterwards. But you can see on the left, it's the first video I'll move. I've marked as two elbows. You'll see an arrow showing where the right elbow will move to very quickly as they kind of pinch together. And you'll notice what effect it has on the club shaft, and also notice that the left forearm will kind of roll a little more in transition. So there's the start. You can see the club is laying down a little bit. And you can see that the shaft is laying down quite a bit. There's the elbow moving down and in front. So here's the backswing. Elbow pinching down and in front. Backswing, elbow pinching down and in front. On the right, you can see the back of the right wrist is, the back of the left wrist is pointing up and out this way, kind of on this line. And the club shaft is kind of behind his hands and stuff, so you can't see that, but you're going to see very clearly the elbow is pinching in. The left elbow hasn't moved. The right elbow's moved 4 inches, 3 inches. We'll keep moving. The left elbow's dropped slightly, but they're much closer together. You can see the club shaft. Now the back of that left wrist is actually pointing up that way. It's actually rolled further back as the left arm, as the right elbow is tucked in. You can do that. I mean, just hold a club vertically in front of you and then pinch that right elbow closer. The natural reaction, given a grip that's anywhere within near standard at all, and not like, palm up or something with your right arm, will be to roll the left arm so the back of the left wrist stops facing at the target and starts to face more towards the sky if you're holding it straight in front of you. Again, you can see what effect the elbow movement has on that left arm and where the club is pointing. Again, the club looks much more laid down than it is here. So Hogan used his right elbow drive, pinch, whatever you want to call it, to help shallow the club in transition by essentially allowing his left forearm to roll a little bit more in transition. Again, in golfing machine terms, he didn't load the third accumulator all the way by the end of his backswing. He added load to the third accumulator in transition. What he felt he was doing, who knows? I mean, he may not have felt it with the right elbow at all. But this is what we can see, and this is what we know. You may change your elbow position by feeling the third accumulator load more, by feeling that right forearm or left forearm rolling a little bit more in transition. Other people may do the opposite approach, feel the right elbow pinching to affect the left forearm and to flatten out the shaft plane a little bit. But anyway, these two videos are on YouTube if you want them without the lines, of course. I just thought they'd be helpful to kind of go over it a little bit here.